Good evening, good evening. Wait, maybe I need to turn this light off. I look like I'm in HD. Y'all will be seeing all my flaws, right? All my flaws. Good evening, Facebook. Want to talk about actually one of my Facebook friends who first started off as one of my clients and is now a business partner of mine. When you come in, say hello, press the like button, press the love button for me. One of my business partners, Facebook friend, she's a business partner of mine, client of mine. She's not actively working the business. I am a independent contractor. I'm a licensed life insurance agent. I'm an independent contractor with PHP Agency, but going to talk about the news that I saw. But my Facebook friend, who she and I met because she had a livery service, she used to transport my son. She became a client of mine when it comes to life insurance, and she is now also a silent business partner. She was like, you need to go live and talk about this thing, right? With Tim Norman and Sweetie Pies. I believe he is Miss Robbie's son or nephew. I watched Sweetie Pies very briefly. Really didn't get into the series, and that was so many years ago. I have watched Sweetie Pies, and I actually went to Sweetie Pies when was that? Oh my gosh, I want to say about 3 years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. My cousin wanted to go to St. Louis for her birthday, so we went to St. Louis for her birthday, and we went and ate at Sweetie Pies. Going out to eat soul food ain't really my thing, right? Going out to eat soul food is not really my thing. But before I get into what Tim Norman did, well, in a nutshell, what happened was Tim Norman took out a life insurance policy on one of his nephews, right? Please correct me if I have the story messed up. I read it earlier. I read it earlier today and the other day. He took out a life insurance policy on one of his nephews, and then it looks like he murdered his nephew, right, for the money. First thing I think about is the OJ song, "For the Love of Money, People Will Kill Their Own Brother." Is that a part of the lyrics? Like, they'll kill, steal, destroy, right? For the love of money. Once upon a time, right? Once upon a time, and one of the reasons why people don't want to talk about life insurance. One of the reasons why some people don't want to talk about life insurance, some of the reasons why people don't want to even get life insurance, they don't want their children to know or whatever about their life insurance policies, are because once upon a time back in the day, people would get life insurance on individuals for the payout, right? They would get life insurance policy on individuals with the goal in mind to off the individual for the payout. So, great example for those of you from Chicago, any major metropolitan area that was written with drugs and different things like that, right? So back in the day, years ago, many years ago, I can't tell you exactly how many years ago, an individual, let's say me, I wouldn't do no shit like this. I know the neighborhood crackhead, or let's think about New Jack City, right? So Pookie is the crackhead on New Jack City that everybody knows. And let's say Nino Brown decided to take out a life insurance policy on Pookie for the sole purpose that somebody is going to kill Pookie and Nino Brown is going to cash out on the life insurance policy, right? For that sole purpose. So changes had to be made to life insurance. What do I mean? When you get a policy on someone, in order to get a life insurance policy on somebody, you should have an insurable interest with that person. What does that mean? It should be a grandparent, it should be a parent, it should be a child, it can potentially be a niece or a nephew, depends on the carrier and how you set it up, especially if you want to be the owner of the policy. Difference. So for those of you who have life insurance that are following me, if I get a life insurance policy on myself, I'm the owner, I'm the applicant, and I'm also the owner, right? I'm not going to be the beneficiary. If I get a life insurance policy on my son is the applicant, I'm the owner, but now I can also be the beneficiary, right? So Tim Norman applied for life insurance for his nephew, which his nephew is an adult of age, over 18, varies by state. His nephew should have signed his life insurance policy, right? His nephew should have signed off on the policy. Tim also should have signed off on the policy. So the nephew signs the policy as the applicant. The owner signs the policy, right? And then if Tim was the beneficiary of the policy, cool, right? Can you get life insurance on your nephew? Depends on the carrier, right? Depends on the carrier. When we're out here getting life insurance on grown people, I can get a life insurance policy on my mom. Now, it just depends, right? Because I guess Tim is the uncle, right? Depends on the carrier. So Tim Norman, and Tyree put it in the comments, thank you. He took out a $450,000 life insurance policy on his nephew. Not a lot of money. Like Tyree said, that's not a lot of money. For some people, it is a lot of money. But in the grand scheme of what he is about to deal with, it wasn't worth it. Then we're going to talk about the stupidity. If you're going to commit a crime, be fucking smart about it, right? But the life insurance agent was in cahoots with him. I am a licensed life insurance agent. My mentor has already made over $900,000 this year, right? One of our business partners who's been in the business for over 5 years, but within the last year or so, it clicked. Let me work this business. The last 3 months, he has cash flow $100,000 every month, right? So as a life insurance agent, but this agent might be a sole producer. I'm a builder. I'm not a sole producer. I'm building for a reason, right? $450,000 may be a lot of money to her. But she wasn't even going to get the $450,000. That's what I'm trying to understand. So maybe Tim had finessed her or slept with her or something. You know, I'm going to make this whole story good because I'm trying to understand, why would you risk your license, your livelihood, and your family to falsify a life insurance policy? So they had applied multiple times. They lied about the applicant, the nephew's family history. They lied about his medical history. They just outright committed fraud on so many levels to even get the life insurance policy in his name. When you apply for life insurance, they are checking your driving record. They are checking your credit score. They are looking into your medical history. You think they get into your business when you buy a house? They get into your business when you apply for life insurance. I recently learned, and I'm an agent, we have a mortality score. Our mortality score, if your license is suspended, if you've had DUIs, if you have bad credit, they're associating that with you might be living a reckless life. We don't want to insure you because it's a chance you're going to die. Like, the goal is for you to live as long as possible before the life insurance company pays out, right? So Tim Norman and some woman his niece, girlfriend, I don't know. They go and buy little burner cell phones, right? They went to Boost Mobile, Cricket. But clearly, and I'm a curse, I cussed. Clearly, they got the shit in their own name. So you go and get a phone, but you had to get the phone in your name, or I don't know when this happened, it has to be before COVID. You don't wear any type of disguise or anything, so they can attach the phones to you that you went and bought. Not only do you all go and buy these phones, you all communicate with each other on these phones, right? Now, this is not a how to get away with murder, but I'm going to tell you this. Get you a flip phone if you talking about a smartphone has GPS tracking in it. Whether you turn the GPS tracking on or not, it is working and tracking you. As soon as that phone is connected to Wi-Fi, it is going to pull up your entire history of where you were. I don't care if you turn it off, right? There's no privacy. So these fools are communicating all day on the phone. The woman, I think her last name is Ellis or something, she lures the nephew or gets him to meet her somewhere. Then she calls Tim. So the way that it looks like he killed his own damn nephew, right? So they can place her near the scene of the crime. They can place him near the scene of the crime because of the GPS tracking system in the phone. Yes, Tyree, get a flip phone. There is a reason why there's some billionaire owner of a one of the football teams. He still has a flip phone for a reason, right? You can't take the battery out of a phone. So for those of you who have most of our newer phones, because they're waterproof, you can't take the battery out. Again, this is not how to get away with murder, but this, let me tell you, I know some stuff, right? So remember that glitch with the iPhone? People were able to call and press a certain button and you could hear the person's conversation whether they picked up or not. That wasn't no fucking glitch. As long as there is a battery in your phone, whether your phone is turned on or not, your conversation can be picked up. Anything that receives a signal sends a signal. So while your kids have their PlayStation, Xbox, or whatever, that the video camera, it's a video camera on the game, the camera can still be working even if your kid isn't playing a game. Okay? Camera in your flat screen TV, anything that receives a signal sends a signal. So you probably don't want to be around a smartphone, a smart TV, or a video game if you're bagging up and thinking about committing a crime, right? But when it comes to life insurance, you should have an insurable interest in someone. I just can't decide that I'm going to get life insurance on Tyree or Aubrey or any of you that are watching this and we're not related. You not my baby mama, my baby daddy, my grandma, my husband, my wife, my mother, my father. You're not my child. You know, I'm going to get a life insurance policy hopefully on my goddaughter, niece, nephew, something like that. Good evening and say how you doing. But one of the reasons why, so main takeaways from this, one of the reasons why grandmama and some people don't want to talk about life insurance, death is a touchy subject, but they also have in their mind you might try to kill them for that little money because people have done it. This man kills his nephew for $450,000 that he will never see. the fines for his crime are $500,000 and up to life imprisonment. Then he not even a smart criminal to top it all off. After he killed his nephew, a week later, he calls in to call on the death benefit from the insurance policy. Insurance companies want to know the cause of death. Murder. Oh, this person was murdered. This person who you just got a life insurance policy on, you want to call in on the benefits. So wait, you say he spent that money 3 years ago. So he got the money and now they want the money back and he might be going to jail. So is this a new story or an old story? Why is it news? Because the way the story I read, I don't know if he got the money. The way I was reading the story, all I know is he killed the man. Then a week later, he called to get the money. And now they're looking to charge him with murder, fraud. So he just got caught. So he got the money. Well, at least he got the money. And he spent the money. But they still investigate. So it's murder. Now we done figured out you murdered him. And your life insurance agent was trifling because they let you, they was in cahoots. So now the life insurance agent and him are looking at, she didn't commit the murder. I don't think she was in on the murder. It was a female life insurance agent. But he has murdered for $450,000. Now his fine is like $500,000, and he could potentially be in jail for years. Right? So he was halfway smart. So Tyrese said he held the policy for a few years. So he was halfway smart. So he got the policy. Thank y'all for filling in the holes of the story, because what I read today didn't have all of that. So I'm just piecemealing some stuff together. So he got the policy, held it for a few years, and then decided, oh, I got this life insurance policy on my nephew. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to go and get this burner phone in my name. Me and the woman going to go together to the same cell phone store, it seemed like. Get this burner phone and then kill the nephew to get this money. But we gonna make it seem like he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time and got murdered. Yolanda said, this is just crazy. I feel for Miss Robbie. I do too, in a sense, because now, is this her son? Because it's been a while since I watched Sweetie Pies, but my understanding is this is her son, and he was managing the business and kind of messing the business up, right? So let's go back. He got the policy, held on to the policy for a few years, killed the nephew, got the money, and now he just got caught. They putting it all together that he committed fraud and a lot of other things when it comes to life insurance, right? But he's not the first person to do this type of thing, right? So that's also why some parents have gotten $1 million policies on their babies or their kids, and then the kids come up dead. So usually, right, the goal is a child shouldn't have more coverage than a parent, because then it does look like the parent might want to kill the kids to cash out. People do strange things on here. Tyrese say, no, somebody ran their mouth. You think somebody... So my thing is this. If it's... I'm glad you said that. So if me and you decide that we're going to work together to kill somebody to get some life insurance money, I'm not selling a soul. And you better not either. We're going to take this money and go on about our business. But criminals are strange in that way, because who else would know that we did it? So then people got the digging and figured out that him and old girl what's wrong with the man? So he got $1 million. So his mama was next. She was gonna die by like food poisoning a few years later. So he just figured his road to wealth I just had an idea. Stay with me. You can get wealthy from life insurance without killing folks. Okay? Let's stay there, right? That's a good question. That is gonna make me want to dig deeper. I thank you all so much, because I read whatever was in the newspaper just today, and it didn't say like it was years ago. It didn't even go into all of that, and I read it real quickly and was like, I'm gonna go ahead and do this live. You can get wealthy from life insurance without having to kill somebody. Life insurance is not an investment. It is a death benefit. Okay. But there are ways to accumulate money. You might have to put some money in to get some out. But there are ways to accumulate money utilizing life insurance without having to kill somebody. But one of the things that lets me know, entrepreneurship is one of the roads to wealth. Tyree is an entrepreneur. Girl. Tyree, I'm glad you got faith in him, but I think that boy was going to kill his mama. Wasn't he already stealing from his mom? I have not watched Sweetie Pie. I don't even know if Sweetie Pies comes on anymore, but it was years and years before I So Alicia is saying it takes years to build a case. It's not as easy as it seems. They have to subpoena phone records and everything. My guess is, this is just my guess, because you get a policy on somebody, then this person ends up dead, they died by murder, that the investigation may have started then, but like you're saying, it took a while. Now, life insurance company, if I hold on to the money, it's gonna make it seem like it's foul play. Maybe, I don't know. This is just my thoughts. I'm not saying this is true. I'm very transparent with stuff like that. So we're gonna go ahead and pay it out, but we're also looking into this, maybe. So I don't know. Yeah, you can't believe everything people put out there is clickbait. She sued her son for $100 million. He ain't got $100 million. But I think he would. He plotted potentially to kill his uncle. I could see him killing his nephew. I'm sorry. I could potentially see him killing his mother, especially if you have a $1 million life insurance policy. Now, let me say this. Me, my sister, my cousins, it would have made sense 10 years ago, 15 years ago, right? to get a policy on grandma, potentially $1 million policy on our grandmother, right? With the idea and notion, grandma is going to die before we do. And whenever grandma dies, we will inherit some money, right? We will get this $1 million, and the 6 of us, the original 6, the 6 of us will split this $1 million because a death benefit is tax-free. We're going to get a permanent policy on grandma. 15 years ago, my grandma would have been 73. There's no term insurance for a 73-year-old. We're going to get a permanent policy on grandma. We're going to split the premiums on grandma because the premiums are going to be high. It's going to be high. It's going to be a little high for that $1 million. But it's going to be worth it. And also, this policy is building cash value if we have the new insurance. So that death benefit in that cash bucket will pay out to us. And now we each have, what, about 150,000? 6 times 100,000 is 600,000. 50 times 6 is 3. About $150,000, right? Tax-free money. That we can then go and invest or send our kids to college, pay off student loans, whatever it may be. So there's a way to get wealthy through life insurance without having to kill anybody. You might have to wait longer than 3 years to see the payout, but eventually the payout will come. Okay? It's a death benefit, but that death benefit is tax-free to my heirs, right? So there are people, so if you're watching this, you're young, you're in your 20s, you have cousins that are in their 20s, their 30s, maybe your parents want to get in on it, and you have grandparents that are still living, it would make sense for all of you to go in together, all be the beneficiary, and get a life insurance policy on grandma so that when grandma passes away, there can be hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars left behind to her heirs, right? This is how we can create generational wealth without breaking the bank. Life insurance is a powerful tool. Right? See this book? The Rockefellers have permanent life insurance. They do not self-insure, right? This man was a billionaire when he died 100 years ago. His family had an inheritance. They came into money. They do not self-insure, and they are billionaires. They did not buy into the buy term, invest the rest model, right? They get permanent life insurance. So Tim figured out a way, so he thought, and other people have done this. He's not the first. So like I said in the beginning of the video, this is why some people don't want to talk about life insurance, or they get funny about it, because there are people who will literally think, well, such and such, they have a $250,000 or $100,000 life insurance policy, and I'm having money problems, so if we go ahead and kill them, I'll get the money. People have done that, right? Tyree, you almost made me spit my little detox tea out. She said people are not trying to do that. They'll wait for grandma to die and have their hands out. And that's the thing, right? For those who have children, who have grandchildren, or you have someone that is going to inherit what you leave behind, life insurance will help to cover the estate taxes for those who are wealthy, right? So for every individual, there's a purpose, right? But they'll wait for grandma to die. Not only are they going to have their hands out, they'll probably have a GoFundMe, right? So a few things I want you to take away from this video. Number one, if you do have a grandparent that is still living, you want, if they know, like, trust, and love you, go sit down and have a conversation with them and look at their policy. My great aunt is 75 now. She turned 75 this year. She happened to look at her policy last year. Her policy was going to end when she turned 80. She plans to live past 80. Had she not looked at her policy, lived past 80 years old, and then passed away, she's thinking she has life insurance and she doesn't, right? So one, go and sit down with grandma, great grandma, big mom, Medea, whatever you call them. Make sure they actually still have life insurance. Most people get a life insurance policy, put it in a safe somewhere, and they never look at it again. Go in there and make sure grandma still has life insurance. That's number one. Number two, sit down with your family members. They don't have any type of assets. They don't have any type of savings. They don't have any type of job. Do you have life insurance? We need to get you some type of life insurance. You're going to die. That's the only way out. You're going to die. We're not going to Tim Norman you, right? But we want to make sure that you actually have life insurance, so when you pass away, we're not doing a GoFundMe or trying to sell chicken dinners, right? That's number two. Number three, you can only get life insurance. You're only supposed to get life insurance on people who you have an insurable interest. Grandparents, parents, children. Sometimes nieces, nephews, aunts, uncles. It depends, right? There needs to be some sort of relation. Your child's father, your child's mother, right? But you all agree to it. You're going together. You're both signing off on it. But it's not with the goal of committing life insurance fraud. And then you want to be truthful on the application, because you would hate for the life insurance company carrier to deny a payout because somebody lied on the application. Right? So those are the takeaways. Hey, Janina. I just read about it too. I just learned about it, but I'm also learning that the murder happened years ago. So this is like salacious for me. It's just like, oh my gosh, I bet if all these young black men being killed in the hood had $1 million policies, they would hurry up and take guns off the street. Yes, and we've been talking about that because, and that's a part of, I'm glad you mentioned that, that's a part of our crusade, our mission. I don't know if Rashada's still on here. She's probably not. But Rashada is from the West Side. She's from K-Town. So she has gone into her old hood because I have a 38-year-old female client that's paying $66 for $1.6 million term, but it's for 10 years. So if I think about $1 million term for 30 years, for an 18-year-old, it's probably gonna be about $50. I would have to see, right? I would have to look at it. I know $15 a month. I just did an 18-year-old. $15 a month for an 18-year-old male. was about 153,000 in coverage, but we only did 10 years. The mom is just trying to get the kid to a certain point. But I'm going to look it up because the monthly fee is so little. But you're right. If life insurance companies started to pay out when young black and brown people passed away, they would be like, wait a minute, something has to change. Something has to change. So one of the things is best times to get a policy is when your kid is 2 weeks old and they get a social. But we don't think like that. We don't necessarily think like that, right? I did an example. If I paid $100 a month for a 2-week-old baby girl, right now that baby girl would have almost $500,000 in permanent life insurance. You cannot get term life insurance on babies and young kids. I tried to do an example with an 11-year-old with the carrier that I worked with. That didn't work. Let me say, one of the carriers that I work with, I attempted it. It did not work on children. But you can get a permanent policy on a kid. So if $100 a month is almost $500,000, $50 a month is going to be about $250,000. $25 a month might be about $125,000, right? One of my clients is paying $35 a month for her granddaughter, and it's $147,000 in coverage. But you think about that $35 a month, then when this child turns 18, if they're out here in these streets and then all these life insurance companies are paying out these hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars, it may be like, wait a minute, let's rethink this. These black people onto something. Every time somebody dies, they cashing out. And it's costing us money. Maybe we don't want wealth to be transferred like that. And you may be thinking, why aren't you focusing on the life? Because they focus on money. Money talks, bullshit walks. I'm not heartless, don't get me wrong, but the way that they think dollars. Right? So that is something to think about. Pookie, Ray them, Jim Bob them, who, as long as they don't have a recent felony within the last 5 or 10 years, as long as they're not on probation, as long as they don't have a suspended license, we can get them some life insurance, right? But that's why if you got it on them when they was 2 weeks or 2 months old, 2 years old, before they got out here and started doing bullshit, they be good. Okay? This is why you get, if you are the grandparent. My grandmother had 5 kids. The ones that were not productive in the way that they should be, she made sure she got life insurance on them early. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right? The younger, the less expensive, the better. But the Tim Norman thing, now I gotta go research and read this whole story to even try to figure out how they figured out. But one of the telltale signs though is if somebody took out a life insurance policy on me today and I get murdered next year, 2 years from now, 3 or 4 years from now, they're probably going to look at the individual that got the coverage on me and try to figure out, let's start there, because it's reasonable cause, right? Isn't that what it's called? It's like reasonable cause. Who would want to kill this person? So you start going down the list, and it's like, well, wait a minute. Their uncle got this life insurance policy on them 3 years ago. Is this individual having money problems? What's this individual's character like? Right? They start going down that child. But listen, right? You need to have insurable interest You don't want to get life insurance on somebody and then murder them 1 year, 2 years, 2 weeks, whatever. Down the line, I know there are no killers watching this, right? Miss Robbie is probably just fit to be tired with the whole thing. And knowing that he had $1 million policy on her, he might have, it sounds so heartless, but there are people that will do anything for money, right? So if you are watching this video and you do not have a life insurance policy out, if you only have life insurance through your employer, let's connect and have a conversation. If you do not have any type of life insurance, let's connect and have a conversation. If you have children that do not have life insurance, let's connect and have a conversation. If you have nieces, nephews, grandchildren that do not have life insurance, let's connect and have a conversation. Slide in my inbox. Let's have a conversation. Just to educate you to get an idea. You can get a life insurance policy on your children for as little as $5, $7, $10, $15 a month, and it's a permanent life insurance policy that will last them until age 121, right? Life insurance does not have to break the bank, right? If you only have life insurance through your job, you're more than likely underinsured. And God forbid, 55 million people have already filed for unemployment. You get laid off or whatever. Now you don't have insurance, right? She already has to sue her own son. Somebody else said that, right? Like, money, more problems. But if you ain't got no money, you got problems. So I would rather have money problems than not, right? If you're watching this video and you're interested in an opportunity to make more money, right? Don't even focus on the life insurance part. That's just the vehicle I'm riding on the road to financial freedom. If you're watching this video, you're interested in earning additional money, you're looking for ways to become more financially free, you want to be able to invest a little into your business and make a lot without having much overhead, inbox me, right? I am a licensed life insurance agent that is independently contracted with PHP Agency. I would love to have a conversation with you about what we do, how we do it, what's potentially in it for you, how you can make money in the life insurance industry, and also educate individuals on the power of life insurance. He was opening up restaurants with her money. Listen, I only got one kid. I believe in trust. Let me say this. My daddy loved me. My daddy trusts me. Right? But there are certain things that we don't mix. Okay? I do not have carte blanche access to anything financially related to my parents, and vice versa, for a reason. Because people do strange things. They lose their mind, right? And is he an only child? But I'm going to go ahead and end this. Sip my tea. Thank you for tuning in. Like the video, love the video. Thank you for those who commented, because now I gotta go and read. So this happened 3 years ago. He got the money, and now he's looking at jail time and a fine of up to $500,000 when all he got to begin with was $450,000. which he probably ran through that money super quick. Money solves all things, but you have to have the right mindset to keep the money, right? So if I have a money problem because I have my money blueprint is one of poverty mindset, my money management is one of poverty mindset. Even if I'm given like lottery winners that win the lottery that end up going broke, money isn't solving my issue because I don't understand how money works and I don't have a good relationship with money, right? So if you want to grow in your money mindset, slide in my inbox. I got a book and some other things for that, but I'm jamesiajohnai. Just wanted to come live, talk about Tim Norman, Sweetie Pies. He done killed his nephew, supposedly, for the life insurance policy money. He's not the first. He won't be the last to attempt to do that. It is, people have done that in the past. Some people have gotten away with it. Some have not. Some people were, like I said earlier, thinking New Jack City, I'm going to get life insurance on Pookie. Then Nino Brown, I'm going to have somebody off Pookie and I'm going to cash out. You know, it's just a random crackhead that got killed. I just so happen to have a life insurance policy on him. So life insurance carriers do now require, and the states require, that you have an interest, meaning you, my mama, my daddy, my grandmama, my sister, my brother, my child, right? My husband, my wife, in order to, my business partner. You can get life insurance on your business. Excuse me, you can get life insurance on your business partners. You can get life insurance on your CEO, your COO, your CFO, your president of your company. You can get life insurance on them. Not his bad, but you know what? He is estranged. So basically, it seems like this man has some mental health issues, or he's just a little off and he didn't get the help that he needed because he out here killing, stalking, stealing. Hi, Elizabeth. I saw it. I see your little face is on my, not your little face, but your face is on my screen. I will definitely respond as soon as I end this video. I appreciate the inbox and you letting me know. I will respond to you tonight, right? Now, once I respond, you might respond back. I might be good and sleep by then, but I look forward to connecting with you and answering your question. But like I said, if you're watching this, you only have life insurance through your job, let's connect. If you don't have any life insurance, let's connect. If you have children and they don't have life insurance, let's connect. Let's get you educated, right? If you have grandchildren that may not have life insurance, let's connect. Let's talk about how the wealthy, right? And I have some other books, but I can't find it for some reason. How the wealthy, oh, I know where it is. How the wealthy utilize permanent life insurance to protect their life, their health, and their wealth, right? Or how we can create wealth utilizing life insurance, right? It may not happen in our generation, but imagine if everyone who had passed away in your family, when grandma passes away, all her children get $100,000. And when her children pass away, their children's children get $250,000. And if we had just continued that, and we knew what to do with the money, we had the right money mindset, we as African Americans might be in a better position financially, simply because we utilize the power of life insurance, understanding that we have a guaranteed payout coming, because everybody dies. Everybody dies, right? Everybody is gonna die. So it's not that, oh my gosh, once you die, I'm gonna be wealthy. The thing is, everybody dies. So either grandmama and mama can die, they're gonna die. Either they can leave something behind for the next generation, or we're having GoFundMes and they're leaving bills behind. Because the only way out of this is death, right? So we're not looking at the money. It doesn't replace our loved one, but it sure as hell helps us live a better life once they're gone, or we're able to keep grandmama's house and pay off grandmama's house and keep the land and keep the property that they may have had, right? So I'm Jamesia. Thank y'all for tuning in with me tonight. I would usually have another appointment and I'm a little bummed about that, but I shall redeem myself and be back on that you all have no clue what I'm talking about, right? And I'm looking at myself instead of looking into the camera. Thank you for watching. Like the video, love the video, share the video. Feel free to comment, slide in my inbox, connect with me. Do not put it off, right? I read today about an 18-year-old that went skydiving. Very slim, small chance that an individual would pass away skydiving. The main parachute did not open. The backup parachute did not open properly and in time. Her mother, father, and siblings watched her tumble, whatever, to her death, right? 18 years old. I live in Chicago. I've heard about 3-year-olds, 6-year-olds being shot, being killed, right? Some people will say children don't need life insurance. They probably don't live in Chicago or Cleveland or other places. Sure, Tangi asks, can I briefly explain how living benefits work? I surely will, while I'm over here trying to multitask and not doing a good job of that. I surely will briefly explain that for you. Not a problem. Give me 1 second. I'm on my laptop at the same time. We never know. Everybody wants to live a long, healthy life. I want everybody to live a long, healthy life. But we just never know. Life insurance is not something, oh, I'll get it when I get a chance, right? They didn't let you leave off the car lot without having car insurance if you financed. They didn't let you sit at the closing table to purchase a property without having property insurance if you financed, right? Living benefits. Tangi asked me to explain what living benefits are. So really quickly, in a nutshell, right? I'll use a personal example. My grandmother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's has to be about 12 years ago. She passed away 2 years ago. Not laughing. No, 3 years ago. Not even laughing like that. The anniversary of her death is actually coming up soon. But anyway, so she lived with Alzheimer's for about 10 years, right? So when people think about life insurance, they only think about death. My grandmother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. It impacts your memory, your ability to take care of yourself and function. Had she had a life insurance policy with living benefits based on her policy and that chronic illness, Alzheimer's is a chronic illness, the life insurance policy would have paid out a monthly stipend. That monthly stipend could have been enough to pay for a nurse to come in, or just made it so she did not have to go to a nursing home, right? I have a business partner, Dustin Frampton. At the age of 38 years old, he's a married man. He has 4 children. This is a public story. I'm not sharing anybody's personal business. Tangi, at age 38, he had a stroke. He's the breadwinner of his family. He had a life insurance policy with living benefits. They submitted the claims to the life insurance policy based on his policy, his death benefit. His family received a check for $211,000. So now this 38-year-old breadwinner who cannot work at this time because he's in the hospital and going through rehabilitation, right? That $211,000 is making sure their mortgage or rent gets paid. It's making sure all of their bills get paid while he's temporarily unable to work and earn an income. That's living benefits in a nutshell. When, that's the short of it. So you can think about it like disability insurance built into a life insurance policy. You can think about it like income replacement built into a life insurance policy. And the illness or injury does not have to be permanent. And when that living benefit is paid out, that's tax-free money. It's tax-free. Don't claim it on your taxes, right? So that's the shorts of living benefits. If you're interested, I'd love to have a conversation with you. We can do a consultation. They take about 30-45 minutes. Living benefits are a game changer. It's life changing. These living benefits apply to children as well as adults, right? If you have that policy with those living benefits, it's very specific, right? And not to be confused with the cash bucket that you can take money from. Very specific. Diagnosed with Alzheimer's, stroke, heart attack, cancer, other illnesses, the policy pays out in life, right? So I am jamesiajohnai. I am a licensed life insurance agent. I'm an independent contractor with PHP Agency. If you are interested in building and owning your own agency, becoming an agency owner, connect with me. If you're interested in earning additional money towards financial freedom, connect with me. If you only have life insurance through your job, connect with me. If you don't have any life insurance, connect with me. If your children do not have life insurance, connect with me. If you're connecting about the business opportunity, I'm only looking for serious people who are open-minded. It may or may not be for you. I don't want everybody. I want the right somebodies that will be passionate and willing to share the opportunity with others so that we can reach more and more people, right? And then for those of you that are interested in a free consultation, I do have some appointment slots available this upcoming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday only. So I'm Jamesia Johnai. You all have a good one.